that were asked by Charles. How is NUP working with other parties regarding the petition? As you did see, just before the election, we connected with the other forces of change. And the idea was, yes, we might belong to different political entities, different colors, but the goal is the same. We all want change. And you did see us saying we want to have a platform where we can jointly safeguard the election. And there's a couple of things that we were able to do together. Now, that relationship that we began was not just for before or during the election, even post-election. And so we are in touch with these our colleagues. And so a number of them have expressed willingness. Actually, some have already given us DR forms because, as you know, police is still holding on to, and the military, they're still holding on to many of our DR forms. So our colleagues are availing some of these, but also a number of them have sworn affidavits, chronicling what happened, where they were, what they saw, the fraud, etc., etc. So we are very much working in unison as the forces of change because our goal is ultimately the same. Charles also asked about the impounded the impounded cars. SG will elucidate some more, but here's how they were brought back. They were driven here, really. But more seriously, our insistence has been that, one, the people that were arrested in Kalangala committed no offense whatsoever, including everything that they had with them, the cars, etc., etc. These were people that were part of the campaign team of a legally registered and nominated presidential candidate. He's entitled to have a team to go out with, you know. Some were actually part of our medical team, nurses and so on. Of course, the security team, some journalists, freelance and otherwise. So these people committed no offense as far as we are concerned. And that's why eventually they were granted bail. But of course, the state wanted to keep holding on to them. So they trumped up these charges. And now they are in the court martial. Our insistence is they're innocent. Okay? These cars are not going to commit an offense. Little wonder they are back here. And again, we are hoping that everything that was taken that was in the cars gets to be released. You did see our vice president in charge of Central Region, Robompuga, to whom the cars were handed over, you know, clearly stating a number of things that were missing. So there are phones that are still missing, bags and other property. These things we are hoping will be availed to the rightful owners. But we don't want it to stop at the cars. The cars have been brought back. But the people who were in the cars are still being held by the state illegally. We are saying these people are innocent, they have committed no offense. Okay? For heaven's sake, wanting change, siding with one presidential candidate who is not the incumbent is not a crime, like Mr. Tibu Habura is trying to make it seem. So we insist that they are innocent, and we are hoping, like the cars were let go, these people should be released. I'll finally attempt Chitimbo's questions, and then the harder ones, of course, were to our president. So me, I'll deal with these small ones. Then Mr. President will, you know. Chitimbo asked, what if court dismisses the petition? Our SG has really elaborately talked about that. You know, we are going to court as one of the avenues, legally provided for avenues for us to challenge the fraud that this election was. Some people did ask us, so why are you going into an election yet the Electoral Commission is constituted by Mr. Tibu Habura? We said we must do everything possible to keep fighting until we attain freedom. And so this is another of those avenues. We are going to court. Yes, we know what the court, this same court, has ruled in the past, but we are saying the fight must continue. Look, when South Africans were fighting against apartheid, apartheid was provided for within the law. Illegal, draconian, backward, antiquated as it was etched within their laws. But they said we must keep fighting. And that's what we're doing. You know, when blacks were fighting against slave trade in Europe and the West generally, it was etched within their laws. It was law, legally acceptable. But they said no, even though it's legally acceptable, we shall fight it. They fought it in court, they fought it in parliament, they fought it using every legal avenues until they eventually won. So we are saying we must keep fighting, using every means available within the law. The question of staying at home, so many of you reached out to me in the media yesterday and saying, so we hear you people are saying people should stay at home starting Wednesday. And I said, where did this come from? When did you hear any of us, the leaders, tell people that now on Wednesday you're going to stay at home? Actually, tomorrow we don't want them to stay home. We want them to come out and vote, because there's still elections going on, you know, and our president will reiterate that. There's still elections going on. We still urge our people to come out and vote for our flag bearers. The rumor that has been going around, you know, that yes, NUP is planning violence and all of that. Our thought actually is that all of this is being planned by police, the military, and the state for that matter. I mean, they're very capable of these things. If they can get guns and plant them and trump up charges, you know, they did that previously for our president. They are now doing that for Nubian, Eddy, Mutwe, and several others. They're very capable of this. You did see Mr. Tibuhaburwa, who conceded that Zebra was murdered by his very own people. And you saw the whole narrative about Zebra. We understand he had been asked, yes, so Zebra, get your fellow boxers, go to the streets, cause chaos. Start a fight, cause chaos, and so on. Then with the police, we come in and we target the NUP supporters. It's all out there. So when Zebra refused to do that, they took him out, they murdered him. So this, we believe very strongly, is a plan by the police, the military, and the state generally. We don't want to be part of this drama. We have communicated to the country what we are going to do. Whatever we want to do, we communicate. We have gone to court, we have communicated that very clearly. Everything that we want to do, we shall communicate. Because for us, we have insistently said, we are going to do everything provided for within the law. So whichever step we shall take, whichever action we are to take, we shall let the country know. So what we have not told the country, please don't impose it on us. Let those who are planning it, and we believe it is police and the military, let them explain themselves, because it's not the first time that they try all of this. And then Mr. President will come. Well, Chitimbo hinted on this, but the president will elucidate a lot more on this. In fact, I'll leave it for him, the question of NBS. But just so you know, we don't have beef with, we are not saying whoever has a tag NBS, whoever works with NBS is our enemy and so on. No, we're always with you people. We don't have a problem with you. But it's important that feedback is given to a media house. Now, does that mean that everybody from the gate man at that media house to everybody is part of the problem? You'll find that even the colleagues that we're usually with in the field from NBS probably have no idea. It's probably a small clique, whatever. But ours was to say, let's give feedback. Media houses receive feedback. You receive feedback from your viewers. You know, they tell you, no, this show we don't like, or this show it's happening too late or too early or whatever. Feedback is important. So this is feedback that we are giving as stakeholders. And our team leader will elucidate. Very quickly, mu Luganda, because I know you will say kati now mu Luganda. Kati nga NUP muli mukolagana mutya ne bannankyukakyuka bannammwe ku musango guno. Nja kubajjukiza nti bwe twali tugenda mu kalulu twabayita nga bannamawulire nga tuli ne bannaffe. Bannankyukakyuka bannaffe aba FDC n'ebibiina ebirala ANT. Era nga tugamba nti tugenda mu kalulu weewaawo tuli babiina byanjawulo, buli kibiina kirina presidential candidate, naye tuli ba Luganda, ffenna tuli bannankyukakyuka, twagala nkyukakyuka, ne tugamba nti akalulu tujja kagendamu era tujja kukola ekisoboka kyonna okukakuuma awamu. So bannaffe tukyali nabo era tuwayizaamuko nabo. Abamu batandise dda n'otuwa DR forms kubanga nga bwe tuze tubabuulira poliisi n'amagye bakyalemedde DR forms zaffe ezimu ze baawamba nga bakutte ba agenti baffe abaali bazirina. So bannaffe bannankyukakyuka bannaffe batandise otuwa ku DR form ze balina bo. N'okutuwa ku bujulizi obulala. So tukolaganira wamu kubanga nabo baagala nkyukakyuka nga ffe bwe twagala enkyukakyuka. Era wabuuziza ku nsonga no, this was Chelsea's impounding vehicles ze baakomezaawo. Emmotoka tuli basanyufu nti baazitadde kuba ffe tuze tukyogera lunye nti emmotoka zino tezazza musango, abaazirimu tebazza musango. Bali bagenze ne presidential candidate okukola campaign. Ogwo si musango. Candidate bamuwandiisa alina okugenda campaigninge, alina tiimu gy'atambula nayo ne baabakwata nga mwotutte n'abasawo bannansi be yali nabo part of the medical team. So tugamba ng'emmotoka bwe baazitadde kuba tezirina musango, ne bannaffe ba Nubian, Eddy, Mutwe, Dani Magic n'abalala bonna bateebwe tebalina musango gwonna. Kitimbo, yes, kooti bw'enaagoba omusango munnaffe akyogeddeko SG waffe nti fe okugenda mu kooti tukyali mu lutalo olujjako nakyemalira era ffe nga tugamba nti olutalo lwaffe lwa mateeka tujja kukola buli kikkirizibwa mu mateeka okulaba nti nakyemalira tumujjako. Waliwo abatubuuzanga kakati mugenze mu kalulu, akalulu ani akategese byabakama ani yamu obuyinza Museveni, kati lwaki mugendayo? Tugamba tujja gendayo kubanga it is part of the struggle, lutalo. So nogenda mu kooti, yes, tumanyi kooti emisango gino jasalawo gitya nsonde envanyuma naye tugamba nti olutalo lwo lukyagenda mu maaso paka nga nakyemalira avuddeko. Tujja kukola ekisoboka kyonna nga tuyita mu mateeka. Era Kitimbo wabuuziza nti yes, ebiza ebitingana nti abantu basigale waka. Fe tugamba nti nga NUP okusookera ddala buli kyetukola kiri mu mateeka. Ate buli kyetukola tukibabuulira bannange. Tubayita bannamawulire kati twabayise ntubagamba nti tugenze mu kooti. Kati bino ebiyitingana era poliisi byesibyeko nti kakati NUP bagamba abantu temuva wammwe wagenda kubeerawo simanya olutalo naki. Okusookera ddala ffe tukkiriza nti poliisi n'amagye gavumenti be bapanze bino ebintu. Era nga balina obusobozi obukikola. Olaba bakwata emmundu ne bagamba kakati n'emmundu ono bwe Kyagulanyi yali agirina nti ba Eddy Mutwe bandi bonna be babadde nazo ba Nubian n'abalala ne babijingirira. So ne kino tukkiriza nti poliisi n'amagye be babijingiridde okuteekawo embeera bakwata abantu baffe. Mwaye Museveni yabagamba juzi nti Zebra abasirikale be bamutta. Zebra ono ensonga ze muze muzitegeera. Poliisi n'amagye bamugamba nti kakati kwata box abo mugende ku street mutandika olutalo abantu batandika okulwana naki ffe tujjewo betukwate betwagala okukwata aba NUP. Zebra bwe yagaana ne bamulyawo ne bamutta. So kati bino byonna poliisi n'amagye be babipanze. Ffe ebyaffe buli kyetukola tubuulira eggwanga nti kino kye tugenda okukola. So be tutogedde ffe ng'obukulembeze bw'ekibiina bane temubitusibaako. Mwebale nnyo. Let me invite our Secretary General.
At our office, being asked where I work from. Ordinarily, this press conference should be at our head office in Kamocha. But as you know, since the 15th day or thereabout, our office has been under siege. Even on the 16th when we went there and did just the final activity we had there, it was already surrounded. And so we've not been able to access our offices. Since that time, we've written protest letters to the Electoral Commission. We've written to the Inspector General of Police. But we know that they also wait for orders from somewhere. And that is what we've seen in this election. Every time you go and meet the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, he seems unsure. He has to wait for whatever. And then you go to these police officers. Yesterday, you saw what happened at the court. It was very clear that the General Court Martial was trying to buy time to probably get instructions elsewhere. So we are going to use all legal avenues, and indeed we are filing a case about the siege at our office. Many of the things, and if you read through the petition that we've taken to the Supreme Court, the lawyers will tell you that a lot of documents which we would have needed to attach are at our office. We do not even know if they are still there because these people have had access to the office. Maybe they might have entered and stolen some of them like they did with our signatures at some point. So we do not know what is there, but we are going to court to demand that they vacate our office. NUP is a registered political party which is free to operate in this country. So the continued blockade on our office is illegal, is unconstitutional, is uncalled for. But it is a sign of fear. These people fear us. They fear the people. They don't fear us because we are violent. No, they fear us because we represent the people and we represent the values that we stand for. The other person asked about the number. I will repeat it. It's 0701 458 299. If you have any missing person countrywide, please send their names and details to those numbers. Indeed, today I think we've received over 100 people who are sending in their pictures of their relatives. I mean, that's what has been happening everywhere we go. We are bombarded by people who have been coming here at our principal's home to report their missing persons. You can imagine, because there are so many, and maybe that also answers the question about the specific numbers of the missing. It's very difficult to tell when you just hear that, you know, for example, our candidates, some of who are here, and our MPs who went through, And other leaders at different levels will keep telling you, in my place they took 20 young people last night, they took 40, they took, and so it's very difficult to even know. And that's why we put in place a number on WhatsApp where people can send these details, and our job is to verify whether that information is accurate, and then we take the necessary steps. Of course, you comrades remember what happened. We started a human rights desk which had started gathering evidence of all these crimes against humanity. And every day they were recording people. I mean, people were coming to our offices in dozens to tell us about their missing persons, about people who had been murdered. And what did they do? They arrested our human rights officer together with Counsel Nicholas Opio at the time, as you remember, and they took away all the work that they had done, but good enough some of it was saved. So our human rights desk, even now, should be sitting at our office. It's not been able to do that. That's why we are working virtually through the WhatsApp numbers and other means. Somebody asked about the impounded cars. Of course, these cars, just like the cars which the state has held onto in Arua, are not supposed to be there. First of all, there have been no crimes committed whatsoever. Now, these cars kept in Kalangala, and you see they are messed up. There were many gadgets in there, the phones, laptops and all that. All those are missing. We don't know where they are at the moment. So we've continued to work through our lawyers to demand that they release the cars. They are here. We're still trying to assess the damage and then to see what will happen after. I think some people are continuously asking this question about what if the courts do not rule in your favor, what will you do? I think our president has answered this question very well. He talked about it. Ours is a struggle for liberation. And in the struggle for liberation, there are very many pieces. There are many stages, there are many pieces. We had a phase where we participated in an election. That phase is now past us, although we are demanding, we are continuing to demand to reclaim our victory. And the first step towards reclaiming that victory, we have said we are going to court. But we have also said that we are going to use all other avenues within the law to reclaim the power of the people of Uganda. If you look at Article 3 of the country's constitution, it gives the right to citizens to use all means to defend the constitution and to make sure that the constitution is not abrogated, illegally violated, and the kinds of things we are seeing. So the going to court is just one of the steps that we are looking at in this struggle. And we encourage all citizens to take interest in this case. Make sure that you follow the proceedings. And those who have evidence, we have also asked them, and we thank all those who have sent all manner of evidence to these numbers that we've been putting out there. Incredible things which happened on the 14th and even after that time. So we continue to encourage you to send in those, and then we know eventually that victory will be on our side. Ofisi yaffe ekyali mu Buwambe abasirikale bagisalako kati okumala weeks nga 2 oba weeks nga 2 tetusobola ku accessing office yaffe Kamocha chovola batukolera wano byetukola press conference eno yali badde Kamocha naye tetusobola kugendayo kubanga abapoliisi bagisurroundinga n'amajenga ko gatwalidde era Koti ensukulumu oba Supreme Court tukitegezeza nti obujulizi obumu bwe twali agadde kusindikira ku musango gwe twataddeyo buli mu office yafeeyo waliwo empapula nyingi nnyo eziri omwo tetumanyi bazikyaliyo wango boli awo bazibye n'okuzibba already nga lwe batwala signatures zaffe n'ebirala naye ate tugenda mu kooti okuwaaba okulaba nti bavaawo kubanga ekibiina kino kya National Unity Platform kiri registered mu mateeka Electoral Commission ekimanyi bulungi nnyo nti head office yaffe eri Kamocha era tubawandikidde amabaluwa aba Electoral Commission ne police nga tubasaba bave ku office yaffe tusobole okukolerayo emirimu gyaffe kubanga wano tuli mu maka ga president waffe tetwali badde nga tukolera wano emirimu mu ggwanga eriri mu demokrasiya kubanga tulina ekitebe kyaffe we tulina okukolera emirimu gyaffe. Waliwo abasabye enamba gye basindikako naddala abantu baffe ababuziddwako mu bitundu ebyenjawulo. Enamba eri 07001 458 299 enamba osobola okusindika ekifaananyi ky'omuntu wo n'amanya ge ne bamukwatira, then bannamateeka baffe ba following up tulabe bali. Era waliwo omukulu abuuzizza nti mumanyi abantu bameka kati abaakabuzibwawo. Ffe estimates zaffe ziraga nti abantu 3,000 be baakakwatibwa, naye ate tumanyi nti tetulina information emala, kubanga buli lunaku batugamba nti kati drone ze wano ne picking ono wano bazze n'ekimotoka ky'amagye ne batwala abantu 2, wano ekiro bakoze operation ne batwala abantu 3. Abasinga tetumanyi wawo gye bali. Bw'ogenda Kitalya, abavaayo buli avaayo ekitalya kugamba nti abaana aba NUP abali Kitalya bangi nnyo. Babatwala wali ne babalimandinga tebabakomyawo mu kooti. Bali eyo abamu balwadde, mulabe abazze mu kooti gyo, abamu nga tebasobola kutambula nga babasitudde busituzi, eddagala teririiyo, betaaga specialized treatment abamu, naye embeera gye batambuliramu. Era twali tubategeeza nti twateekako desk yaffe ekwata human rights desk yali awandiisa ebikolobero byonna abasajja bano bebakola ku bannansi, naye ate human rights desk eyali agikulira bajja ne bamukwata era ne bamutiisatiisa nga bwe mumanyi. Ekisemberayo ddala babuuza kooti bwetasaalamu wetakansolinga kalulu oba wetasaalawo bye mwagala mujja kukola ki. Mukulembeze waffe akyogeddeko bulungi nnyo nti ffe eno struggle gye tulimu, ensonga lwaki tugiyita struggle tumanyi nti si event, kubanga woba olwanirira eddembe oyita mu mitendera gya njawulo, naye ffe tuli ready okulaba nti tutuukiriza buli mutindo gonna. Era tubadde mu kalulu, bannayuganda bavaayo ne balonda mu bungi nnyo, ne balonda change. Government nekola bye yali ekola, ne bakwata amawulire, ne bakwata ba agenti baffe, ne ba staffinga, ne bakola byonna bye bakola. Kati tugenze mu kooti nga step eddako. Eyo step bweba ezeeko katugiwe chance tulabe. Naye n'ekirala ekyo okugenda mu kooti tekitegeeza nti ebirala byonna abantu bye bakubeera okukola birina okuyimirira, as long as kyonna kyokola kiri mu mateeka. Era ssemateeka waffe bw'omutegeera bulungi nnyo, waliwo eddembe ly'abannansi okudefendinga constitution n'okola ebintu ebirala bwe bityo. Kanyanirize president waffe addemu ebibuuzo bimubuziddwa era asibule abantu abali wano. Mwebale nnyo.
Tulivimba mu Uganda. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. In a new Uganda. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere.